What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Blockchain Future. Hope you're having a great day. I wanted to chat a bit about micropayments. Micropayments is something that has been talked about a lot in the cryptocurrency space, and it is something that not a lot of people think about, especially in the last few years, but it is something that was a major reason for cryptocurrencies to begin with. There are a whole lot of people in the world that are considered unbanked because they do not make enough money per day or have enough money in general to use a bank account. Plus, the payment systems that are in place at the moment, like Visa, MasterCard, other credit card processing payment systems, usually have fees that are so high. Once you get below a certain dollar amount, it's not beneficial to actually charge something. Usually what those companies will do is they'll start batching together a lot of those payments and then charge them all off at once. But in general, it's not really beneficial for someone to say charge somebody 50 cents on a credit card because of the fees. So I found this article that was written at the end of December 2018 that I thought went into the micropayments, basically cryptocurrency and micropayments. And I wanted to share it and kind of comment a bit on the article. So, is cryptocurrency the future of micropayments? While online shopping and electronic payments have become commonplace, there's one thing that is still holding back online transactions. Simply put, transaction fees are too high to fully support micropayments. What are micropayments? The threshold varies, but typically anything under $12 is considered one. I think that's a bit high. I think a micropayment is usually anything under like $2 or $1.50. $12 to me seems a bit high, but we'll move on. There are lots of cases where there's a benefit to accepting small payments, and this is a big part of the future of cryptocurrency. Imagine you had a cryptocurrency wallet embedded in your web browser, and you could securely make small transactions with very little friction. This will become a reality soon, and it's the building block to widespread crypto adoption, crypto acceptance. Transaction fees can be as high as 3% and often also carry a flat fee on top. For instance, PayPal charges 2.9% and 30 cents per transaction, making accepting small amounts virtually impossible without losing money to fees. In the future, seamless payments in small amounts with cryptocurrency will be possible. Let's take a look at some of the potential uses for such micropayments. I do want to say that when it says right here, this will become a reality soon, we're already seeing there's like the Lightning Network. You can tip with it on Twitter. There's a tip service on Twitter. Obviously, there's things like the Brave browser with BAT tokens. There's a few others like some social media stuff where you can get tipped for writing articles in small amounts. So this is already happening. This was obviously written at the end of last year, but a lot of this stuff is actually coming online. And so it's a little bit out of date as far as saying this will become a reality soon, as it has become a reality. And we're going to see more and more of this stuff come online, especially during this year, 2019. So here's the first example: paywall and subscriptions. In the media these days, often news sources will place their content behind a paywall to encourage people to subscribe for premium content or to finish an article they have already started reading. However, few people choose to pay for a large subscription fee where there might be a small fee for the article. This exposes them to the premium content, and if they find value, they are likely to take the plunge next time and pay a small fee for the next very article. By removing the friction that a large subscription fee presents, the media company increases engagement and ultimately pulls in more revenue. Media aren't the only ones that can benefit from these small, efficient, cheap transactions. Content creators can now monetize their content easier without causing similar friction in the form of having to set up a complex payment service. Facilitating such micropayments through a cryptocurrency-based system could actually help struggling creatives actually get paid for their work. And this is important right now because we are seeing, recently a lot of journalists just got laid off from a few sites, I think Vox, and there's been some drama on Twitter, a bunch of people trolling them saying learn to code, which I think is funny. But yeah, because of the current method of paying, I mean, the current ad-based method of, they're basically trying to write as many articles as they can to get the most views, which then gives the advertising model, the advertisers on their sites some traffic, which then goes back to the site to pay the people writing the articles. It's much easier to actually reward somebody directly for content that is created, and that's something that these micro payments can do, because you're basically directly rewarding the person that's creating the content instead of going through this kind of Rube Goldberg machine of getting the money to the person that wrote the article through advertising. So we're already starting to see this shift, and this is actually one of the bigger ones. I believe this is why it's the first example. Vending machines. Another challenge for micropayments that cryptocurrency can solve are vending machine controls. For instance, imagine a vending machine that could sell beer cans, but only to those who can prove that they are over 21. Without a human stationed at the machine to verify age, how is this possible? Recently, Civic, a company working on secure identity solutions on blockchain technology, showed a vending machine that could do just that. By scanning a code, a customer could verify age and make the micropayments purchase. This type of verification opens vending machines and online purchases up to even more industries. The cryptocurrency GoByte is working on a network that can support such small, frictionless, yet decentralized payments using Dash. By creating a system of nearly instant transactions with very low overhead, it's possible to accept micropayments and retain profitability. And vending machines are unique in general because usually the items that are in a vending machine are cheap. It wasn't until recently, I would say in the last 10 years, that we actually started to see vending machines that accepted something other than coins or dollars, or fiat in general. I know in Asia, Japan, I'm sure China, they were doing mobile payments for that type of thing a long time ago, or at least more than 10 years ago. But in the West, it really wasn't. It really didn't change until about 10 years ago. And because of the fees for things like Visa, using crypto for just vending machine purchases in general is something that can be very beneficial, in addition to the new markets that can be opened up by using something that can not only send the value or send the payment in a small amount, but also do things like verify age or verify identity, which is pretty cool. Charitable donations. We hear about large donations quite often, and also of immigrants sending money back home to family. Cryptocurrency helps send money globally with lower fees and restrictions than traditional methods. Most of the world's population lives on $2.50 per day, making even donations as small as $1 incredibly powerful. But the same restrictions for processing cost and the high cost of sending money through traditional payment systems, think Western Union, is far too expensive to make sending $1 viable. Imagine a cryptocurrency-based donation system where you can send these small amounts and make a real difference for someone on the other side of the world. Cryptocurrency-based micropayments have the power to not only make our lives simpler and more convenient, but they can help alleviate poverty around the world. Cryptocurrency can even take things a step further by using smart contracts to ensure that donated money is used for the intended purpose and not stolen by corrupt foreign governments. I would also include NGOs and pretty much anybody, not just foreign governments, but pretty much anybody that is in between the person donating the money and the person receiving the money. I believe that right now you can't even get an accurate number of how much money reaches the, out of all of the steps that money goes through when you donate it, especially to people, in third world countries, that they don't even know how much, what the percentages of that money that's actually getting to the person on the other side. So by having a direct kind of route there, and like it said here, um, using smart contracts to ensure that donated money is used for the intended purpose, you can really imagine what can be done with that if you wanted to make sure that it just went for clean water, or a specific item that you believe in as somebody donating money. So this is another huge use case. Plus, I mean, you can see these people are living on $2.50 a day. This is an example of what I was saying at the beginning about how they don't make enough money in order for banks to think that it's lucrative for them um, to bank them, to give them banking services. So by using cryptocurrency, they can actually take advantage of the ease of value transfer with crypto without the downsides of using a bank. Tipping online. Imagine reading a really helpful blog post and being able to click a button to leave a small tip, or being on social media and being able to tip someone who posted really unique and creative content. With cryptocurrency-based micropayments, you could easily leave a tip. Experts often answer questions online on sites like Quora, and there is another example of where micropayments can be of value. Thanking someone for a helpful answer with a small tip is something that most people would gladly do. Imagine a button on LinkedIn where you could contact a high-profile executive for a small fee to have them help you with your business. By placing the small barrier of payment there, it protects the executive's time, and they can be compensated for their expertise. It allows users to access the expertise at a great value. I don't know about, giving a high level executive, $1 in microtransaction, if that's going to, their time is worth a lot more than that. But this is a good example of, we can start with, blog posts. You like a blog post, you could, pay them. This is something that Brave is already doing. Like I said before, they will, you can reward people with the BAT token for a site that, just by visiting the site and consuming the content, you're automatically rewarding the site instead of using advertising. The questions and answer sites like Quora, and obviously there's sites like Reddit, where somebody has a really interesting post, or they actually have, or you can say like Medium, instead of the claps that they have on Medium, you could actually reward them with a micropayment. And moving on to this last post here about LinkedIn, there are sites like, I can't remember it, but they're pretty much like consulting sites. And if there was a easy way for that value transfer to happen, it could open up a whole new industry of people that have a knowledge on a certain topic. You could easily connect those people with people that are looking for that knowledge, and they could then be compensated for it. So anybody that has expertise in any area could then be compensated for that expertise by somebody that is looking for that expertise with very low friction. And that's something that will be definitely coming with cryptocurrency and microtransactions. This last one was pretty interesting, spam protection. I wasn't even aware of this, but it sounds like it could work. One of the worst things to deal with in the information age is a flood of spam emails in your inbox. By placing a tiny micropayment on each email, only important communication will come through. The reason spammers work so furiously to fill your inbox is it's free for them. Adding even a fractional fee to incoming email will virtually eliminate spam, and those who need to get in touch with you will pay the small transaction fee willingly, because everyone will enjoy spam-free inboxes. It will make someone think twice about sending a pointless email as well, making communication more efficient. Now, there was a talk a long time ago about like the post office wanting to put, wanting to charge what they charge for delivering a physical letter on email, and everybody thought that was ridiculous. But by doing maybe a microtransaction of like a tenth of a cent, or even less than that, you think about the number of emails that you send, and if you wanted to, I would gladly put a small microtransaction fee on a email that I'm sending out if I knew that was going to, get it past all the spam filters and get it to the top of their email box. So this is an interesting one. I don't think it's at the bottom for a reason, bottom of this article, but I do think it's interesting to see this kind of. Sorry about the noise. This type of article or this type of example for microtransactions. But I do feel that the tipping and the donations, vending machines, and paywall subscriptions is pretty big. So I think microtransactions and micropayments are going to fuel the internet of value and move things forward with cryptocurrency. I don't know if it will be the catalyst that kind of makes crypto hit that tipping point. But as more and more use cases come online that facilitate the value transfer, because that's all money is it's currency between two people. So as crypto gets to a point where there's all of these use cases, including micropayments, then we're going to see that tipping point where really there's no looking back, and crypto will be the standard moving forward. That's all I got for today. Thanks. Have a good one.